Thanks, Dave. Continuing coverage now to pothole problems in Muskegon County.
The city is working to address its deteriorating roads. 13 on your side's Trevier Gonzalez has been following this for months now. He joins us live in the studio with more. Trevier, you spoke with the interim city manager about this.
Yeah, that's right, Jay. It's taken a long time to get to this point, and he tells me it's an issue with many layers that they are working to fix, but at the same time, they can really do only so much.
It's a problem people in Muskegon Heights have been talking about for years.
They need to stop putting a band-aid on stuff and get it done right.
Crumbling roads across the city with seemingly nothing being done.
Those main streets need to be done. Really, they do.
Back in March, we introduced you to James Coffey in a dilapidated Hoyt Street. A month later, Delicia Nash shared her frustration with the damage to her vehicle, much of it due to the state of Barney Avenue. The demand for change has even prompted a protest in April of last year. I reached out to the city more than 2 months ago to ask what's being done. Interim city manager Melvin Burns recently agreed to sit down with me.
It's not going fast enough for residents, of course, but it's not that everybody's sitting doing nothing.
He says roads like these are a complex issue and only worsened by a stagnant population.
The one thing that you need to repair roads is tax dollars. And so we certainly have a lot fewer of those than we've had in the past.
Burns tells us there is a method to the slow response.
People often think you take the worst streets and you start with those first. And that's not always the way the strategy works. Oftentimes with those plans, they'll rate the streets and conditions, and you may start with, here's the streets we can save. Some streets are so far gone that, you'd have to do like a total rebuild.
These rougher streets likely to remain as they are until other critical infrastructure like water mains and supply lines can be addressed. So what work has been done? As we reported in March, Reynolds Streets has been fixed. A $3.6 million project that addresses a part of the city's 7th and 8th Streets is now halfway complete. For residents like Todd Dowell, who lives on 8th Street, this kind of change has been a long time coming.
This is amazing, man. I am so happy. I've been over here in this area since 2007, and I love it. And the Heights is going to get back right, though. It just takes time.
On this stretch of 7th Street, a very familiar story, completely covered with potholes. One resident even telling me she's had to continually fill this spot with sand. Now, work on 7th Street is set to begin in July.
On Leahy Street, $2.9 million is going to construction from Sherman Boulevard to Barney. That work already underway. There is also planning for improvements to Hackley. Burns says the work is scheduled for this fall or spring. Still, Burns believes the city has momentum.
You know, it doesn't look sexy to say we fixed a water main, but what that does in the long term is it cuts out where we may have leaks in the system. It replacing lead supply lines. We all know the risk of those. So they don't look sexy. They don't make fancy ribbon cuttings, but they're important. Fixing infrastructure doesn't look sexy, but man, it is so vital.
Trevier, really great reporting here, and this is a story you've been on for the last several months. Glad to see some improvement, but we're also still seeing some really bad potholes in Muskegon Heights. Will they be able to fill any of those while they wait for this funding?
Yeah, for those really troubled main streets, it's kind of hard to get that answer because they're told to just wait until they get those certain state types of funding that can come in. There are patches that are applied to the roads. It happens during the winter and summer. It's most effective when it is warmer, so that's something that we actually did notice coming into the city of Muskegon Heights. But as we've said again and again, there's a lot more work to be done, Emily.
All right, great job again, Trevier. Thanks for that reporting.